How's it going, everybody? My name is Gary with Fuller Country Living, and what we're going to be doing today is some tree and road maintenance. We have an area that's next to our main entrance to our farm. It's called Dinasaur Curve, and during the winter time it has a tendency to freeze over in that area because there's no light that can get in due to the tree canopies being a little too thick. So what we're going to do, we're going to thin out some of these trees. We're going to make some wildlife bedding areas at the same time, and try to keep this from freezing during the winter time. So come along and go with us. Our plan is today to cut these trees out here in the curve. Hopefully they'll fall that way. We're going to cut them into firewood to use later on. It's nothing really that we can use for any kind of lumber or anything. It's pretty bad shape on the bottoms here. You can see this big cherry right here. It's a huge cherry tree. Wild cherry, but like I said years ago when the road got built through here, it got some damage on it. We're not going to cut this today because we can get a couple big logs in it. They're really nice logs. They don't get no branches till they get way up there next to the top. But we're going to try to clean this area up. Like I said, you can see now how this side of the hill shades this area. And this is what my father years ago named Dinasaur Curve. He found looked like a piece of a dinosaur bone in here. We don't know for sure, but it's him and my son found it when he was about 8 years old, and they just named it Dinasaur Curve, and that's what it's been called ever since. But as you can see, the sun hits out here in this corner, but all this out here from here on out stays shaded, and that's bad in the winter time because the snow blows in here and builds up pretty thick. But you can see some of the trees we're going to try to cut, but we're going to go after these first. And this is what I was explaining about the damage. As you can see, that one got some damage too. It's laying quite a ways downhill. I doubt that it'll hit up here in the road. If we see that it's not going to, we'll try to cut this one up first. We got a sycamore out here, but if we don't think this is going to fall, which I don't think so, we'll go down here in this lower part. We got a lot of poplar and stuff in here we're going to clean up. It's always something when you live on a farm. It's constant maintenance. But yeah, you can see what it is. We were saying it's pretty shaded. You can tell by the camera, lighting keeps changing. But up in here, we're going to clean it up a little bit later on. We're going to cut some of the bottom limbs and stuff out, the trees. And we're going to do some what you call hinge cutting, and that's for the wildlife. We do a lot of stuff for the deers, turkeys. We've even got some bears on here, but they just pass through. Grouse. Used to have quail. I haven't heard of quail in probably 15 years, but we try to do stuff to clean up the farm, but also make good habitat for the wildlife. Got a lot of rabbits. Rabbit population is coming back. We've done some pretty heavy coyote hunting for the last few years, but we've laid off a little bit, but we need to get back on it. But this is what we just wanted to show you. And if you see this growing right here, I didn't know what it was, but a friend of mine told me this was what they call wild ginger. So if any of you out there had ever seen wild ginger, let us know if that's the truth. I don't know. But I did find some ginseng the other day, and I'll post that up here for you so you can see it. It's something doesn't eat most of the berries off of it, and then we planted the rest of them. But we're going to try to clean this up. I'm glad we're working here in a little bit of shade. It's not too bad today. It's the first week September, so the temperatures is not overly hot today. All right, we got our Husqvarna 465 Rancher. This is a great little saw. It's not really too big. It's got a 20-inch bar on it. It's really made for doing small trees, firewood, stuff like that. We're asking a little bit much of it today to cut what we're going to, but it's been a pretty good saw. I've had steels. I've had a little bit of everything. I like the steel and like the Husqvarna. They're hard to beat, either one of them. And most guys will say, "Oh, steel's better and Husqvarna's better." But what I find out, what guys like, is whatever's being sold in their area. If you have a Husqvarna dealer and that's all you have, you'll go with Husqvarna equipment. If you have a steel dealer, you go with steel equipment. But nowadays you can pretty much well find both of them. But I've been impressed with this little saw. Like I said, I've had it for 3 or 4 years now. It's done really good. And my little Massy Fergason tractor, it's been the life-saving thing of this piece of property here. You can see it's got a little rust on it though. Got it in 2011, but she still runs like a top. And we couldn't hardly make it without this thing. But I'm looking for maybe a little bit bigger one. We're going to try to do a little bit more logging and stuff, and we pull our disc and stuff in when we're doing our food plots for wildlife food plots. But all right, enough jabbering. I'm gonna try to get this set up here. I think we're far enough back in case it was to come the wrong way, but we're gonna set the camera up here and see if we can get a cut there. I'm not no timber guy, so don't be ragging on me for not doing everything correctly. Show you what it looks like. It's pretty rotten. As you can see, it's rotted pretty bad all the way through. There's a closer shot of it. Don't like cutting rotten trees like this because they can bust on you, and have a potential of hurting you really bad or killing you. But she's leaning a little more that way, but we're going to try to give her a cut and see. But I don't think this one's going to be able to cut. We're going to have to probably go down below here and cut some trees out, because it's just got too much pressure leaning that way. And I don't want to fall it and bust all them poplars up. We might can get a few beams cut out of them, 6x6, or I say some of them 6x6, some of them ain't big enough to do that, but we can make some kindling out of it or firewood. But all right, I wanted to bring you up here to show you close as we were cutting. I got my cut started. Still leaning awful heavy this way, but it may go. I don't have no wedges to drive in it. Somehow I lost my wedges, so. But I'm gonna set the camera back up back here and see if we can get her to fall. Thought that might happen. The tree leaned more that way on us, and as I got the pressure taken off, it set down on my saw blade. So I'm gonna try to get the tractor and see if I can push it off. I don't like doing this because it makes it dangerous. I'm gonna put a little pressure in it. Maybe I can get my saw out or not, but watch and see what goes on. Well, that totally didn't go as planned. That's what I told you about a rotten tree like that. They're dangerous. They get you killed. If you don't cut a lot of trees, don't fool with them. I needed my wedges today. I didn't have them. Somebody stole my wedges and my hammer. That's why I didn't have them today, but I would have drove wedges in there, and I could have put it just about where I wanted it. But as you see with the rotten wood, it busted where it wanted to. So that wasn't planned to go that way. We're going to cut all this into firewood, but now it's a major mess. I'll get you and show you what it did. All right, so you can see the cut. It was rotted. All this was rotted. So when I got about right in there, I don't know why I got a little bit low below the cut. I followed it around, but I think it just broke off that way. But you can see it's all rotted. Like I said, people, these are extremely dangerous. Bunch of little pea ants. It's dangerous to cut. It fell downhill. Luckily, we have an old logging road down there. We might can get to it, but if not, we'll drag it out later with the dozer. But things never go as planned on this stuff. You can be as prepared as you want to be, but it had some good outside wood, but all that in the center was rotted. There's the end of the log. But that goes to show you the best laid plans can go awry really fast. Timbering is very, very dangerous. I usually don't do any kind of cutting by myself, but everybody's at work today and I have stuff to get done, so I'm not going to attempt this one right here. It's just leaning way too far that way, and if I do cut it, it's going to bust all them poplars up below there. So we might try to get that poplar. I don't know if it's too far over the hill. If not, we got some other trees we can cut, but I wanted to get that one down today. It's, as you see, it really opened the canopy up. All right, you seen what happened there. Even though I cut a huge notch on the other side, it just didn't make no difference. It was rotted and it busted and went the way it wanted to. It started going that way, but I let off a little pressure on the tractor, and when I did, it popped and went that way. So, but that goes to show you, when you're timbering, you just can't count on anything. It's very dangerous to do. But, all right, what we decided to do is come down here on this level here. We got a logging road right through here years ago. We were just up there on that road just a second ago. You can see it right up there. You can see there's where the big tree fell we just cut. It's laying up here. Fell down here, supposed to fall on the road, but like I said, you know how that goes. But we'll work on this here today, try to get this cleaned up. We'll do as much as we can. I got a knee problem, so I don't know how long I'll be able to last up here on this bank, but we're going to get to getting cutting. We're going to put you up here and just let you relax and watch us work. All right, you can see a few of the poplars that have done failed. And if you've seen me, I was cutting all this little brush out of the way where you're walking. This little brush like this, when you're cutting trees, can tangle you up and get you hurt really bad. if you have to run and get your feet caught up in one of these, it can get you hurt bad or get you killed. Tree fall on you, so what you want to do is clean your area out around where you're going to be cutting. Like up in here, we'll cut this out next. Cut these trees out of the way. If you can, you always want to start cutting uphill to let your trees fall downhill. And that way they're not falling into treetops and getting hung. But them's fell on our road. We might get some wood out of one of them. I don't know. I don't think none of them's big enough to use to get any lumber out. So I'll just turn it all into firewood. I like to use poplar when I'm starting my fire, or if I just want to have a big fire to watch burn, I'll throw some poplar in on top of it there. But we're getting her opened up. Just no more than we've already cut. You can already see the sunlight coming in. If you look here on the ground, it's just little, most of it's poison ivy and vines and stuff in here, and there's nothing good for the deer to eat. And what you do is you come in here and clean this up, and the light hits the floor and opens this up and lets new growth come in, and your deer will move in here and feed in it pretty heavy. Then they'll take these old tops and stuff and they'll bed around it. And what we'll do in here, maybe some of this stuff where there's no good timber or we can't get to it, we'll do what they call hinge cutting and make a bedding area for the deer to feel safe in here. Up above us, we got about 7 food plots that we started. They're just now starting to do good. This is the first week of September when we planted them, about the 10th of August. The day we planted them, we got a big rainstorm. And then it went extremely hot for about I guess from the 10th till today. I can't think of the day. I think it's like the 5th. Yeah, today's the 5th. So the 10th of August to September the 5th, we just got some rain 2 days ago, which was a good soaking rain. It started coming up, and I'll show you some of that footage where it's just now coming up, and we'll follow it as it grows. But we're not just only a farm here and cutting stuff up just to waste stuff. Everything has a purpose. We try to repurpose the trees into firewood or into timber, make bedding areas for the deer and the rabbits and the small birds. But we just want to show you, we're going to cut the rest of these trees, and we'll bring you back in a minute and show you how it opens this canopy up. You can see how it is now, and we'll show you here after we open the canopy up and see what a difference it makes to the floor. Alrighty, we're going to get back to it. Whew. All right. You see what I was talking about a few minutes ago about cutting the timber below you so you don't get one caught up in the trees? Well, didn't realize that one was that long, gonna fall that far, and it got hung up. But now you can see the canopy, what we were talking about. This will open it up. Sunlight already hitting the floor of it. Clean some of this junk up around here. But we're going to try to cut the rest of this stuff. And when we get done, we'll bring you back. But I always wear at least hearing protection when cutting timber. I usually have my eye protection, but I must have lost it somewhere, so I know you're going to jump on me for not having some eye protection on. I'm just going to plead the fifth. But it's already opening it up. Look at the light coming in already. The more we get cut in here, the more this will clean this up. Be great bedding for the wildlife in here. Won't do much this year, too late in the year, but next year when all this young sprouts come up, the deer will be in here heavily. But it's looking good. We might possibly could get a timber out of that. If it's over 9 inches, we could get at least a good 6 by 6 out of it if we want to do something like that. But more than likely I just cut it into firewood. But pretty good sized stump down there. Hit a little rock with my chainsaw, didn't see it. It sort of dulled my blade up a little bit, but that's all it takes is one little nick with the dirt or a rock, and your brand new chain will be worthless till you sharpen it again. But all right, we're going to get back to work here. Just wanted to keep you posted as we go. I hear a squirrel squawking at me, must be mad at me. Matter of fact, right there, I don't know if you've seen it, but right there it just jumped in the tree. Big hickory tree right there. It must be in there eating hickories. But all right, we'll bring you back when we get a little farther along. We finally got a breeze blowing in here. It was so hot earlier you just couldn't stand it. There was no breeze blowing now. Got that hurricane brewing in the Gulf. I guess we're getting a little bit of the wind from it, but we wanted to show you what we were doing. Like I said, we're going to get in here, try to cut some of the small brush out of the way and get it cleaned up, and then drop the bigger trees. Drop these ones first, these poplars right in here first, and then move uphill and keep falling them down on top of each other. But all right, that's enough talking. We're going to get busy and get started. I'll bring you down here and show you this cut. Tree's leaning heavily this way, and it's got a pretty nice log in it. Big cherry. Cut it a little deeper than I meant to, but It's leaning that way, got a pretty good breeze blowing the opposite way. So hopefully it'll go where I want it to. You gotta remember, guys, I'm not a timber guy. I just do this when I can on my own time. So got a big old poison ivy vine going up that you ought to know when I pick it. I tried to cut it as close as I could to the ground here. And we'll just see. Like I said, I'm trying to lay it right in this general area. It's sort of leaning heavily that way, but hopefully it'll pull this way. All right. I just wanted to show you what we was doing. It's a little much tree for that little saw, but it does a pretty good job. You got a good sharp chain on it. All right, let's see what's going to do. Went close to where I wanted to. It's supposed to fall in that hole right there, but it fell over just a little bit more. It was really windy right at the time when I cut it, and I think it just enough wind just to push the top over made it, but it split my log down there a little bit. I could have maybe got 2 logs of it, but I'll probably get one. Looks like one 12-footer out of it now, but big pretty cherry. There's what the stump looks like. Look good. Back cut looked good and everything, but nice clean cut. Just pulled that way a little bit. But, it'll be a nice log though. I wanted to get down and cut that one below it there. I thought it might hit it, but I thought I had it notched good enough. It was falling good, but then it just enough breeze to come through and just help it come over just a little bit more. Then when it hit that top, it rolled. But we're getting her opened up in here really good. She's coming together. I'm gonna try to cut some of these right here today, and it's getting up in the day now, and I'm getting a little tired. I might have to take me a day off. I don't know. I'd say that, but I'd probably be back out here. But no, I was really happy with the cut. Real beautiful log. Just wish that it hadn't split, but you know, I'm not a professional logger, so I did it back when I was 14, 15 years old. We logged all day long, and done a lot of cutting then, but you're talking a long time ago. But she's shaping up in here. Up here's our main road. Like I said, we're trying to get this so the sunlight will hit it, and then these poplars and stuff, they're no good for make some pretty lumber, but they're no good for the wildlife. And we're trying to improve our wildlife on the farm here, and get things in a little bit better shape here. Got some bee trees in here somewhere, so I see bees flying around, but I'm trying to watch for them that I don't cut down a bee tree. But that tree was a little hard on that little rancher, little husky rancher. It's not made for cutting trees like this, hard trees. It's just really for small trees and firewood. And Lord, there's something rare. Sweat in my hat. But she's clearing up real good. You can see out through there. It's opening up really nice. Gonna have a lot of timber in here laying on the ground, a lot of firewood. But we're gonna try to cut some of this smaller underbrush down here and get it done, get it out of the way, and that takes more time than it does actually cutting the trees. But like I said, it makes it dangerous if you don't do it, and just take that little bit of extra time to safeguard what you're doing. And all right, we're gonna get out here and try to get some more of this cleaned up. Our deer trails are showing up really good through here. One this plain as day. I've been walking the deer trail, so. Now we're gonna see if we can cut some of this underbrush and do a little bit more cutting. This tree's laying real heavy uphill, but it goes this way going uphill, but then the top spurs back this way, so heavy. Hope it's heavy enough on the top to make it pull this way. I'm gonna try to pull it. It's laying real heavy this way, but this wind's kicking up in every direction. I don't know what to do for sure, but I got a pretty good notch cut in her. I'm gonna see if she'll go that way. Move the camera. She looks pretty good. Like I say, if you can see, it leans quite a bit, but then when you get up towards the top, it leans back downhill. So hopefully it's got enough weight to pull it downhill. That's where every tree I've cut today's got poison ivy on it. That would have felt perfect. That's right where I was trying to get it to go. That general direction. Must have had enough weight in the top that it pulled it. I was a little bit leery about it, but it went leaning uphill a bit, but then it turned this way, and most of the leaf weight was towards this way. So we got that one cut. I'm gonna try to cut a couple more, but I'm about well wore out. This is rough on an old man. It was a whole lot easier when I was in my 20s. But we're gonna probably do a few more cuts off the camera. I know you've seen trees cut before. It can get boring after a little while, but we're gonna cut a few more and we'll bring you back and show you what we got done. Well, we got some of them laid down. These old poplars are fairly easy to cut. But, I'm about wore out. Been out here pretty much all the day by myself. Cutting, well, we got about 30 big trees cut and a bunch of underbrush. Well, I wanted to come up here and give you a view from the upper road. There's the tree we started with. Really opened her up. A lot of logs out there we got to pull out. But just want to do a little recap on what it looked like from the top. That's what it all looked like down in there. Now we got it cleared up pretty good, so we're going to let it leaves and stuff dry off for probably till about middle of October maybe, and get in here and start cutting it up a little bit better. With all them leaves on there right now, and it's green, makes it heavy. So, but just a little recap. Got quite a bit done though. A lot of trees in there. Still got a few more to cut, but that's some really nice logs. This big poplar logs. I had a lot of nice poplar logs, so I'll be able to make some pretty lumber out of it. But all right, thanks everybody. We're gonna call it a day today. If this is your first time tuning in to us, go down and hit the like button and subscribe. That'll help us out some with the YouTube algorithms. And we want to thank everybody for just taking your time out to watch us. We enjoy doing this stuff, even though it's a lot of hard work. We hope you learned something. Like I said, we're just the average old guys out here. I have cut timber before, but it's been a few years, and we just do what we have to. And but we thank you for watching us, and God bless everybody, and look for our next video. And we thank you very much.